Hello, and welcome to Dispatches from the Civil War, a podcast breaking down events of the American Civil War week by week in real time. My name is Logan, and I will be your host. This week, the events of April 5th through the 11th in 1861. Secretary of the Navy Gideon Welles will send formal orders to provision Fort Sumter. 4 vessels are ordered to participate in this operation, one of which is the USS Powhatan, which is currently underway to Fort Pickens, Florida. The following day, Lincoln will reverse the order of the Powhatan, but it is too late and she is in motion and not able to return. Robert S. Chew, a clerk in the State Department, will deliver a message to South Carolina Governor Pickens in regards to Fort Sumter. The message states that the upcoming federal action will be one of provisioning and not reinforcing the installation. One condition given is that there will be no resistance or interference with these efforts. The first ship leaves on the 8th, the cutter Harriet Lane. The next day, 2 more vessels will leave New York, one of which is the steamer Baltic with Gustav Fox on board. Looking into the future, his name will come up again. On the 7th, General Pierre-Gustave Toutant Beauregard, which I just have to say, incredible name, just absolutely fantastic there. 10-10, no notes. He is in charge of Confederate defense in Charleston Harbor. He will inform Major Robert Anderson that communication will no longer be permitted by Confederate authorities between Fort Sumter and Charleston. The next day, the forces surrounding the fort will begin to prepare in response to President Lincoln's April 6th message. On the 10th, Confederate Secretary of War Leroy Pope Walker will order Beauregard to require the surrender of the fort from the Federals. In anticipation of conflict, the Confederates increase their show of force with a floating battery stationed off Sullivan's Island. Just to pause the excitement here, remember those 3 Confederate commissioners sent to Washington, D.C. by President Jefferson Davis way back in February? They finally leave after exhausting all options. They understand that the Confederate government will not be recognized by Lincoln. Another group of messengers are on a different mission on the 11th. Colonel James Chestnut, formerly a United States Senator, Colonel A.R. Chisholm, who represents Governor Pickens, and Captain Stephen D. Lee, formerly of the United States Army, are received by Major Anderson. The group convey a message from General Beauregard that Anderson is ordered by the government of the Confederate States of America to demand the evacuation of Fort Sumter. Anderson will refuse this order, which prompts Beauregard to contact Confederate Secretary of War Walker for direction. Walker suggests that the general should wait and see if Anderson will evacuate so as to avoid the effusion of blood. Not to break the timeline, but that phrase is going to come up every time one side suggests to another to surrender or call for a truce. I have typed it so much that I've started using it in my work emails, which has confused everyone at the office. Anyway, the Confederacy appears to be willing to hold fire as long as the garrison does nothing to precipitate armed conflict. And there we are for the week. Ships are on the way from New York to resupply the garrison. General Beauregard has ordered the fort surrender. Major Anderson has declined that option, and everyone is in a tense wait-and-see moment. Will week 15 of the year be the one when the dam breaks and the effusion of blood that many have hoped to sidestep becomes inevitable? Follow along next week as we see what direction things go. This episode's music is The Bonnie Blue Flag. This tune was only surpassed by Dixie in terms of popularity in the South. It was written by Harry McCarthy when Mississippi adopted an ordinance of secession. The title comes from the design of the flag that flew over the Mississippi Capitol, a blue flag with a white star. McCarthy borrowed the tune from a familiar Irish song, The Irish Jaunting Car. The third verse incorrectly lists the order of secession, if you happen to see the lyrics. Thank you for listening to Dispatches from the Civil War. Written, produced, recorded, and developed by myself with assistance provided by Rosemary and Paige, the Podcats. If you've enjoyed this or other episodes, please consider putting up a review and recommending it to your friends. Until next time, keep fit as a fiddle and toe the mark.